to this, folks. 4 nations left in this year's CONCACAF Nations League with only 2 spots left in the final. No two-legged affairs here. It's one and you're done. What am I talking about? We'll tell you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video today. It's all about the CONCACAF Nations League semi-finals. That's right, 4 countries left, 2 spots in the final. Who will make it? Who will go home? We'll take a look at all of it in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button. You want to subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, Nations League, World Football. We're going to all here under one roof. See, that's right. We've got 4 of the powerhouses left of the CONCACAF Federation, and they're going head-to-head here in the semi-finals of the Nations League. Only 2 spots are available. Who's going to go through? We'll showcase you in a minute. Big shout out to the members. Big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. So what we're going to do now, though, folks, is, of course, a look back at how we got to this stage before we take a deep dive into those semi-finals to predict who will make up the final. So sit tight, hold on. Here is your recap. It's the CONCACAF Nations League. Goodness gracious me. So these are the tables, of course, how we got to this stage. We're taking a look at, what are we looking at here? CONCACAF League A, Group A, or whatever. I don't know. I hate how they phrase these. But anyway, in the Group A, we did see the top 2 go through. Costa Rica and Suriname went through to the quarterfinals. Guatemala and Martinique went through to the Gold Cup prelims. There is a separate video for that as well. And Guadeloupe and Guyana got relegated, or at least to a play-in. For Group B. Meanwhile, in the other group here, we have Jamaica and Honduras also making it through to the quarterfinals. Nicaragua, Trinidad, Tobago go through to the qualification of the Gold Cup. Again, separate video. Cuba, French Guyana into a play-in to avoid relegation to Group B. Moving forward, let's take a look at the rankings of the positions heading into this. Of course, Mexico finished top bins with the most points. Canada came in second with just shy of 100 points difference. The United States in third, and Panama were in fourth. Now, beneath that is a table that showcases you the rankings of those teams that qualified the top 2 from each respective division with their amounts of points, goals, etc., etc. Basically, we're trying to determine a seeding system here. And what happened here, of course, those seeds were then pushed into the quarterfinals. For example, we had Costa Rica. They took on Panama, who finished bottom, so top versus this, bottom versus this. Jamaica, who finished second. They took on the United States. We had Suriname. In third place, they took on the second seed, which was Canada, and then Honduras took on top seed, which was Mexico. And at the end, though, unfortunately, it depends on how you look at it, really, the big boys all came out on top. That's right. Costa Rica did lose to Panama on aggregate 3-2, of course, following on from these first legs and second legs. Jamaica lost a 7-goal Bobby Dazzler over 2 legs, losing both of them 1-0 and then 4-2. Canada coming out on top against Suriname 4-0 on aggregate. Of course, yet to concede a goal in that game. And Mexico coming through against Honduras 4-2 in the end. Again, all the big boys navigating that to go through to these illustrious semi-finals. That's right. So that's the point where we find ourselves. And of course, this is where we are right here, right now. All right, folks. So here we are now entering the semi-final stages, of course. And there's only 2 matches here. Of course, winner to go through to the final. Of course, no second legs here, no nonsense. Both matches taking place over in the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, over in California. We're going to start with, of course, probably the big one, really. To be honest with you, no disrespect to the other nations, but it is actually top 2 seeds from the previous rankings there. It is Canada. It is Mexico. Of course, coming at you on the, what are we looking at? The 20th of March. That's right. Canada coming at you on 75% form for them right now. Unbeaten in at least the last 5 matches. That's including 3 wins on the spin. Up against Mexico, 50% form for them right now. 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. They're coming into this on the back of a defeat. Actually, they've only won once of the last 3 matches. They have played each other 10 times since 2008. Just 1 win for the Canadians, 6 wins for Mexico. There's been 3 draws between the 2 sides. Canada's one and only win was a 2-1 win. They've actually scored 8 goals in those 10 games, 0.80 goals a game on average. Up against the Mexicans, who, of course, picking up a 6 victories, and their biggest was a 3-0 win. Over the course of the 10 matches, they scored 18 goals, picking up a 1.80 goals a game on average. Now, the last time that these 2 sides played was back in September 2024. It ended up 0-0 on the night. Canada's one and only victory was back in November 2021 on with Mexico's last victory all the way back in July 2021. The odds for this one, we don't have any odds, but the Canadians on the back of a 3-0 win over Suriname. That was back in November 2024. They haven't conceded a goal in back-to-back games. They've only conceded 1 goal in the last 4 matches. As for the Mexicans, they did play a bizarro friendly against River Plate. They did lose that one. Their last fully international game was a 4-0 win over Honduras for the CONCACAF, which we talked about earlier. Of course, the Canadians these days are something else these days. I think they are a force to be reckoned with, not only in this tournament, and I think they're one of those nations that are going to cause major problems in the World Cup when it comes back to in 2026. For me on this one, I am going to go with the Canadians here. 2-1 win, bit of an upset perhaps to send the Mexicans out, the Canadians through. Into the other game we go now. It is America, USA up against Panama. That's right, coming at you on this same day, later kickoff, same venue as well. Like I said, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood in California. Click the wrong bloody button. Of course, the United States, in fact, is the earlier game. So this one will take place before the other one. I got my graphics muddled up. The Americans on the back of 4 successive wins, 83% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 6 up against Panama. Just 1 win though in the last 6 matches, 25% form for them heading into this match. Of course, they have played these 2 nations 27 times since 2004. 18 wins for the USA, 5 wins for Panama. There's been just 4 draws between the 2 sides. The Americans do have a 6-0 win on their record, scoring 63 goals in the 27 games against Panama, picking up an average of 2.33 goals a game. As for Panama, they've just got 5 wins. 2-1 was the biggest, scoring 27 goals in those 27 games. You could do the math on that one. Last time they played, it was in the USA, I believe. It was 2-0 win for the United States back in October 2024. Last time Panama win was that 2-1 win. It was in the Copa America Group C phase, and that's back in June 2024. The Americans on the back of a 3-0 win over Costa Rica. They've won, like I said, 4 on the spin, of course, picking up big wins against Jamaica, Venezuela, and Costa Rica. Panama on the back of a 6-1 loss to Chile. We have no odds on this one, but my gut does think, because of the form, realistically, Panama coming into this not on the best bit of form. Of course, USA are the hosts. I do anticipate a United States nation to go through to the final, to take on the Americans in what will be a spicy game, specifically when you think about the political climate that we find ourselves in right here, right now. So that's my take on it, guys. That's my CONCACAF Nations League semi-final predictions. We'll be back with that final prediction. Also, we'll chuck in, just for good measure, the 3rd place playoff, which will include, in my eyes, Mexico up against Panama, of course. And again, that's not too far away. It's just a couple of days away. So sit tight, hold on. It's going to be a spicy few days, spicy month here on the channel. So make sure you subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. We'll be back very, very soon. Until then, we are done.